Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Now today we're going to take a look at Ghost X, and this is a free-to-play 3D side-scrolling action MMORPG. It's got some really cool elements. You can see you've got this cool like ball and electricity going on in the background. And it's a very different game from the plethora of fantasy MMORPGs out there. So let's get started. Now the game is very much about focusing on getting you to basically just use your keyboard. So you can see almost all of these have shortcuts that are directly to the keyboard. Everything from deleting your character, creating a character, going back. You can see if I wait long enough it'll come up. I did create one character, kind of get an idea of the game, but we're going to go through the character creation process so you guys can see what that's all about. So you can see you can choose male or female. We're going to go ahead and go with female. Let's name our character. Let's see if we can, there we go. Get her name in there. I can't type this morning, don't know what's wrong with me. But you can see you've got a couple of different options. It's not a lot. You basically have, looks like 3 options as far as the hair is concerned. We'll go with the green bob. You can do face. There's a few of them, not a ton. Let's actually go with that one, kind of give her a little bit of an attitude. You got a few different shirt options. Let's go with the turtleneck, and you've got a few different short options, actually just 2. So we'll go with that, and let's go with the brown boots. All right. So after that, that's pretty much the extent of the character creation. You can actually turn your character to the side and scroll around, see what she looks like, see the full 3D modeling. All right, and there we go. And you can see you've got some additional customization in your statistics. So you've got some points here. Let's go ahead and pump it into strength. I may adjust that later and put some into some different things as I level up. But I think in the beginning, you always want to be able to do the most damage right out of the gate. So now that's the extent of the character creation process. Not really in depth. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Now the game does offer you, do you want to start with this backstory? Now essentially the backstory is your tutorial, and the game does a pretty good job with the backstory. We're going to go ahead and do it because I want you guys to see exactly what's going on. You're going to see we're going to go into this cutscene. I'm not going to watch the whole cutscene because I want to show you guys more of the gameplay, and I want to show you, the structure of the tutorial and stuff like that. But you can see here they don't have voice acting, which is a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. You can just read it. Let's get through that. And here we are. We're meeting a nanobot. The nanobots are very important. So basically, with the nanobots they're essentially the weapons that you're going to use. But you can see what's really cool here is you do have a lot of interaction with the environment. It's always nice to see stuff like being able to climb up the ladder here. A little bit of acrobatic leap that basically put me back down to the bottom. Let's go ahead and get up here. There we go. And we're going to go inside, press D. But as you can see, everything they really want everything to be just about using the keyboard, so you don't have to move back and forth to your mouse, because I am moving around with the arrow keys, and then a lot of the interactions are basically in the grouping of keys that are on my left hand. So basically, here we go. We're meeting our nanobots. Have a look around. All right, I choose you. Essentially, the cutscene that you just saw that I skipped out of goes through each of these. And you can see they talk about, they do a bit of a description for each one of these. I'm a waterfall. Choose me if you want a weapon that's fast and has accurate battle ratings. I'm Moby Dick. Don't think too hard about it. Body has no rivals. And then this one, I'm a dragon claw. It means dragon's toenail. Take a chance with me. We're going to actually go with this waterfall guy over here. So there we go. All right, I choose you. Let's see here. We're just going to select that. And you can actually name him. Let's go ahead and name him Harry. So there we go. We've got our nanobot, and he just follows us around. Now, once you do get into a position where you get into battle or we get outside, it's probably going to tell me here shortly, is you actually use tab to equip him. So I don't have him equipped yet because pretty much we're going to head out. In this tutorial, it really wants to walk you through, even though I know how to do it. You use tab to equip him. It's going to tell me right now, use tab to equip me. He's basically going to be like, hey, use me. Here we go. So we're waiting. He's going to tell me, la-da-da-da-da, something wrong. I can't move anymore. What the, oh, ghosts. So watch out. And let's get out of that. And we're going to, there we go. Press the tab key. So there we go. And basically what happens is you meld with that nanobot. Now you can have several different nanobots. I believe it's 3 different nanobots that you can have at any point in time. And each one, as they level up, they actually gain different skills that you can then use. So right now he's just level 1 and I'm level 1, so we can't use those skills yet. You can see it's basically he turns into this sword. So we're going to use A to attack and take these guys out over here. Let's get over here, and there we go. So you can see you've got kind of some cool little acrobatics and stuff like that. But right now we only have the one attack. Now you do get more as the game goes on, and different skills, and you get different combo attacks and stuff like that. Now we can do stuff where we jump up in the air and do different attacks like that, which is always cool to see the animation the animation be able to do different things like that. These jump attacks and things of that nature get really cool. So let's take out the rest of these guys and complete this quest and move on. So basically it just tells me use A to attack. So it's not walking me through a lot of the game. It just wants to get me the basic understanding of how to attack. And you can double tap either side to side, or and actually in any direction, and use this little dash skill. So let's actually head out of here. I was pressing W. We need to go down here. Why is this not working? There we go. So there we go. We got out of there. We're up to the roof. Move a little bit faster. Basically telling me exactly what I just told you guys about being able to use the quick run. And here's another cutscene. I suggest you guys watch these because it's pretty cool. As you can see, this is essentially going through the different missions. You can see the map here. It's basically a portion or futuristic portion of, I'm guessing, it just says Seoul, but I'm guessing Seoul, Korea. So let's go ahead and do mission. You can see high score is 0. Let's go ahead and start. There we go. It's loading up. And here's a couple of the NPCs. So basically these first couple of missions are just walking me through getting used to moving around and getting used to battlements and things like that and learning who these NPCs are. I'm going to skip through this real quick. Now you can see the game does use the basic exclamation point for those characters that have an actual quest for you, and then once your quest is complete it does use a question mark to show that it's completed, a green question mark at that. So let's get through there and accept. So now we have our quest. You can see it showed up down there in the bottom right here. You can do party matching, so you can see if there's other people that are using or that want to do this quest. You can group up real quick. But as you know, I mean, when you're doing these early quests, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to group up with people because you just blow through them so fast anyways. And then you don't have to share any of the experience. So, but it's cool. You can see the go showing me exactly where I need to go right now. You see I do have some mail. Let's check out what that says. Following the arrows. So basically it's telling me to follow the little arrows that are saying go and stuff like that. So alright, I get that. Let's cruise over here, follow those arrows, and then head into this space right here where we've got him with the, like I said, green question mark. You can see down here you've got some different things. Here's our character. You can see you've got some different items and stuff like that that you can equip. Rings and necklace, tag, things like that. And you can see here's my skill tree, so you can see all the different skills that a character will earn. But the first skill you earn isn't, as you can see here, isn't until level 5. And now that may not seem like a big deal, but I'll tell you the game's experience scale is really slow. Your nanobot, he actually levels up, and you'll see this area right here fill up as he gets closer and closer to leveling. But you can see up here, you can see these are defining the different areas. This is hit points, GP, kind of like ghost points, I think they're called. But it's essentially like your mana. But the experience you can see right here, level up to next, I need 8,982 to level up to next. Let's see how many experience I get for turning in this quest. Yep, next, confirm. So we turn that in. Let's go ahead and accept that one. So there we go, we've confirmed. Now let's head out of here. How many did we get? We got nothing. So I think that essentially we've got to go and do this quest before we actually get anything. But you can see here's the navigation system, the little mini map down here, and you can see this little blue arrow showing me exactly where I need to go. This first section is kept very simple. So when you're moving around and stuff like that, and you can see over here, here's where I turn in the quest. You can see the NPCs that I was talking to are back there, and they're essentially watching what I'm doing and making sure that I'm doing it right. I need to take out these training robots essentially. So let's take a bunch of these out. We need to kill 12. We've taken out 2 so far. Let's see if we can actually group some of these things up and start getting some multiple kills so this doesn't take as long. There we go. And right now my nanobot, he doesn't have any skills either. You can see up in the top left, just under where all my my vitals are displayed, where the where like my hit points and things of that nature are displayed, you'll see there's 8 little slots, and that's actually where the nanobot skills will show up, and then they're automatically assigned to certain keyboard keys. So it's kind of nice. You don't really have to think too much about it, but it's also kind of stinks that you aren't able to customize it the way that you really want to. So there we go. So the nanobot my nanobot just leveled up, so he's now level 2, and you can see that a new skill just showed up. So there we go. We went ahead and we just used that skill, and you can see it's got a little bit of a cooldown, and it also uses the ghost points. So let's use it again, and there we go. Now it is too bad. I was hoping that I could be able to attack those guys on the ground. It doesn't look like I can. Let's see if well, he's dead now. So let's knock some more of these down and see if we can attack them on the. You cannot attack them on the ground. So that kind of sucks. Who knows? I mean, there may be a way to do it. I just don't know how to do that right now. So let's take out. There we go. We took out our last robot. So there we go. You can see kind of some combos. I can use my nanobot skill. Let's head over here and turn in this quest. Let's actually use the number 1, and that actually use that little item that heals us up. So let's get through this, turn in the quest, pick up the next one. So it's talking about dragging items down into this area, but you can see they're already there, so I'm just going to leave them there. Let's accept and confirm, and let's get out of here, and we're going to head outside. We've completed everything in here, done everything that we needed to do, and we do have some mail, so let's click there and see what we've got. Did you get a skill? So let's go ahead and, let's take a look at the skills. So let's delete that. Yes, I want to delete the message. So let's close that out. Where's our nanobot? So you can see here's the nanobot, and you can see he's level 2, so he's the legendary flying sword at level 1, level 2, and then different things show up at level 3, at level 10, level 12, so that's kind of cool. The nanobot actually, as it levels up, gets more powerful and things like that, and as you can see let's see if I can bring that other section back up before we look at the skills. Well, let's look at the skills first. So you can see here are the skills, the legendary flying sword, and you can see those level up at level 13, and then again at level 20, and then here's where you'll get some of those other skills and things like that. So it's kind of cool to see that. Let's go back to here, and you can see here's the different nanobots that you can actually have. And things like that in these different squares. So if I remember correctly from what I read, you can actually have 3 different ones that you can choose from and things like that. So, and here's our quest log. Very, very simple. I really like the way that they laid this out. It's really simply done. Now, unfortunately, you can't play this. Normally, I play a lot of my games on the highest setting, like 1920 by 1200. You can't play that. Like the highest resolution is like 1680 by something, which is just this really, really odd resolution. But you guys are seeing this a little bit stretched out because when I edit the videos, I stretch it out to a widescreen to give you guys kind of that widescreen look and feel. So, but let's take a look at that. So let's take a look at options, and you can see right here. So there's the resolution, and that's the highest one. So you can do 800 by 600, 1200. There you go, 1600. So let's cancel out because I don't want it to do any funky things and freak out while I'm recording. So let's head over here, and we're going to have to clean out these ghosts in this one area before it usually it's completely empty. But the game does essentially run in an environment where you kind of are going in these different instances and things of that nature. Here's some other players that you can see in here with some of the different nanobot weapons and things like that. We don't have the quest yet to kill these guys, so let's go in here and get that quest. So why don't I have that? Patrolling the shops. Oh, actually, I need to go over here and I forgot. I have to go get my phone call first. I have to be in the exact right spot before my phone will ring. So let's head over here. There we go. Phone ring. Let's press H. Get that quest. And let's head over here now. So, but the majority of the time, the game is all these little instances and things like that, and you can group up in the instances. Very similar to games like Dragon Saga, Lunia Online, Elsword, things like that. But they do have a persistent world area, and Dragon Saga has a huge persistent world area, and then they have like different instances inside of those, different dungeons and stuff like that. So it's more along the Lunia and the Elsword style, where the majority of your play is actually done inside of these instances and stuff like that. So let's head back outside and take out the ghosts. Use our skill. And you can see it's pretty cool. I mean, you can essentially like stay up in the air a pretty good amount of time just by using your attack and things like that. So, But like I said, there's a lot of different combos you can do. You can see the combos adding up there in the top left-hand corner. I don't know if you get different bonuses by reaching certain combo levels. Kind of tough to reach right now because there's just not a huge grouping of these monsters or these ghosts. And like I said, you can't hit them while they're on the ground to keep your combo going. So there we go. We took him out. Got 7 of 15. We actually took a few hits right there, but they hit pretty hard, especially since I only have like 500 hit points and they're hitting me for 60 or 70 each time. So, but I mean, the game is pretty simple. It's got a cool little graphical style to it. You know, cross between anime and a little bit of Western theme graphics. As far as it reminds me a lot of like with the combos and being able to jump up in the air and do all these different flips and things of that nature. Reminds me a lot of games like Guns and stuff like that really draw a lot of influence from, you know, maybe movies like Kill Bill and stuff of that nature and things along that line. Definitely soundtrack and sound effects are well done. Definitely fast paced. As far as the background music and stuff like that, you can tell they're really trying to, you know, get you excited about, you know, all the fast-paced fighting and the fact that this is an action game and you're going to be, you know, doing essentially a lot of grinding. So, because I mean, look at 15 and stuff like that. I'm not even level 2 yet, and that's one thing that that is kind of a knock on the game, is that the actual pace of leveling up can be somewhat slow, not really somewhat, but painfully slow. And especially, you know, when you're looking at it, I'm only level 1 right now, and truth be told, I mean, what happens when I'm, you know, in the higher levels? I mean, how slow is the pace going to be as far as leveling up then? So, you know, it's something to think about, especially if, you know, if you like to have those achievements and be leveling up all the time and stuff like that. It can get frustrating when you're not leveling and gaining. But I mean, you can see my nanobot is moving up decently fast. I mean, you can see he's filling up here. He needs to get all the way to here before he levels up. So even that's kind of slow. So essentially, this entire time I've only gotten 2,000 experience, which can be pretty disheartening to see that, especially when they're saying, you know, 8,000 plus experience to go from level 1 to level 2. Now granted, that doesn't mean that when I get outside that some of these quests aren't going to be worth more and stuff like that. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. And if you'd like to play or learn more about Ghost X, you can read our full review at MMOden.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.